Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're doing more than just grammar. We are cracking the code on Spanish verbs. My goal here is to take all that confusion you might be feeling and flip it into total confidence.
You know that feeling, right? You've got all the words you need, but you're still stuck trying to put a simple sentence together. Well, what if I told you there's a key to unlock all of it? A single system that works for almost every single verb.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the one golden rule that's the foundation for everything. Then, we'll master the regular verbs that follow that rule perfectly. After that, we'll tackle the first big exception, the boot verbs, then meet the true rebels of the verb world. And finally, I'll give you a clear step-by-step action plan to handle any verb that comes your way.
All right, let's kick things off with the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about, the three-step golden rule.
Believe it or not, it's this simple. Every Spanish verb, in its basic dictionary form, ends in either ar, or ir. All you do is spot that ending, chop it off to find the verb's core, or its stem, and then stick on a new ending that matches who you're talking about. This simple process works for the huge majority of verbs in Spanish.
So, let's see this rule in action with the most common and honestly the most friendly verbs, the regulars. This is where that pattern really starts to shine.
Okay, this chart right here, this is about to become your new best friend. It lays out the patterns for all three verb types. So for an R verb like hablar, I speak becomes hablo. For an ir verb like comer, I eat becomes como. And for an ir verb like vivir, I live is vivo. If you commit these endings to memory, you've honestly built the foundation for real Spanish conversation.
And check this out. Here's a fantastic little shortcut. Just look at how similar the endings for ER and IR verbs are. They are almost identical. The only two forms that are different are for nosotros, we, and vosotros, which is the you-all form they mostly use in Spain. Seeing this pattern literally cuts your memorization work in half. It's a game changer.
Okay, so you've got the regulars down, which is awesome. But what about those verbs that seem to, well, bend the rules a little bit? Let's dive into our first major exception.
These are called stem-changing verbs, and the name pretty much says it all. The stem, that core part of the verb, changes. But, and this is the really good news, the endings you just worked so hard to memorize, they stay exactly the same. So they're not totally random. They follow their own predictable pattern.
And this is the famous boot verb trick in action. Let's take the verb pensar, which means to think. Notice how the E in the stem changes to IE in most of the forms. But look, for nosotros and vosotros, it stays as a normal E. Now, if you draw a line around all the forms that do change, what do you get? It makes the shape of a boot. It's a great visual trick. Anything inside the boot gets the stem change.
And really there are just three main types of these stem changes that you're going to see all the time. An E can change to IE, like in pensar. An O can change to UE, like in poder, which becomes puedo, I can. And an E can change to an I, like in pedir, which becomes pido, I ask for. The vowel that changes is different, but that super handy boot rule, it always applies.
All right, we've handled the regulars and those quirky stem changers. Now it's time to meet the true rebels. The verbs that are only irregular in one specific spot, and the few that, well, just follow no rules at all.
First up is a group with a fantastic, easy-to-remember name, the yogo verbs. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. So for these really common verbs, the only form that's irregular is the I form, the yo form, and it almost always ends in go. So hacer becomes hago, poner becomes pongo, and here's the best part. Every single other form is perfectly regular. It's just a one-time change you have to remember for I. That's it. And finally, we get to the true mavericks. There are a handful of absolutely essential, super common verbs that just don't follow any pattern at all. These are the few that you simply have to memorize. Ser and estar, which both mean to be, and ir, to go, are three of the most important verbs in the entire Spanish language. There are no patterns to find here, no shortcuts. Just learning these by heart is an absolutely crucial step on your journey to actually speaking Spanish fluently.
So, we've covered a lot. The big question is, how do you put all this together? Let's build a simple action plan you can use every single time you see a new verb.
Think of this as your flowchart. When you see a verb, just ask these questions in order. First, is it one of the complete mavericks, like ser, ir, or estar? If yes, great, just use the form you've memorized. If no, move to step 2. Is it a yogo verb?
If yes, just change that one I form and the rest are regular. Still no? Okay, step 3. Is it a boot verb? If it is, apply that vowel change inside the boot. And if the answer to all of those questions is no, then congratulations, you've got a normal, regular verb. Just follow those basic R, ear, or ear patterns we started with.
Now, to really make all this stick, don't try to learn everything at once. Focus on the most common verbs first. This big 6 list is the perfect place to start. And always be looking for patterns. For instance, don't just memorize that an ending is O, learn that the O ending means I. Group similar verbs and really use those memory tricks like yo-go. They might seem silly, but they are incredibly powerful.
So there you have it. You have the codebook. You can see that Spanish verbs aren't just a random mess. It's a system. It's a system of rules with just a few predictable rebels. The structure is all there, just waiting for you to use it. So the only real question left is, now that you have the keys, what are you going to say first?